Greetings and welcome, fellow investigators, to Let's Play Return of the Obra Dinn, Episode 2. I'm just mentioning that because I'm pretty sure some of you may have thought I'd forgotten about this game. I haven't. Well, maybe I've forgotten more than I think, or perhaps less than I thought. For those of you expecting the continuation of Dark Reign, that'll come after I finish this one. Right. So, a year ago, I played 20 minutes of Return of the Obra Dinn under the... apologies. Under the condition that I think that this game really can only be played once, and watching it pretty much spoils everything possible. Which is why I held off for a year. So I think after a year, other people have Let's Played it. And pretty much any secret that can be found has been found, and I feel no real embarrassment in playing on. However, that being said, if you come across this series, and well, I will also be adding the first episode to the playlist. If at this stage you are still curious about figuring out secrets for yourself and don't want any spoilers for any of the deaths, please turn off the video now. Don't come complaining to me that you've watched the video and I spoiled it for you, because I'm giving you this out right now. Just get it for yourself. Really, all I want is people right now that either have already played it and are just looking to see how badly I play it, or people who have no interest in playing this whatsoever but are still curious to figure out what's going to happen. So I will keep giving this particular message until at least the halfway point, after which I'm just going to be assuming that all still watching are just interested in figuring out how I'm doing this game. If you're complaining to me that I'm spoiling it after that point, you really only have yourself to blame. Because really... But anyways, let's begin with the number 2 playthrough. And let's see how quickly we can do this. Right, so where did we leave off? Ah yes, with the corpse on the deck. We have 3 fates solved. And, alright. Let's just see. We have nothing particularly going on. I mean... Let's see, where did we leave off? Because I'm just flipping through the book right now, but... Yeah, so we just basically visit the Doom for a bit. On the deck, you know. 10 others were present, and we have Martin, all that. Alright, that's not important. Let's have a look at this death again. Right, so here we have Tattoo Guy being ripped in half by the beast. Not great. Right, so we don't know who that is yet. This guy is also unknown to us. This is a guy in a fancy hat tossing a gun to this guy. We also don't know yet. This guy we also have not yet identified. This guy, we don't know who it is. And this guy, we don't know who it is. I think. And there's some people in the back there being tossed from that boat. Alright, so... Who is this and how did they die? Well, we don't know who this is. But we do know that he was, let's see, torn apart by a beast. Right, which corpse? This one. Alright, so this guy is dead. Just get a couple of fates in quick succession. Yeah, so my previous record for beating this game is 5 hours. And admittedly, part of that I was able to do because I've been watching a couple of streams, which clearly I should not do because I can't stop trying to solve the puzzles, which is really annoying when you're trying to not spoil things on stream, even though I had no idea what I was doing. Alright, so that's him there, I think, in the explosion. Which apparently tore some of this beast's limb off. Alright, so we have got this guy over here, which we can't identify yet. This guy, which is Tattoo Guy. Apparently, the game thinks we already have enough clues to say who this is, but I don't know. I don't think I figured it out the last time either. And just basically he was the last one left. Because I don't think his name was ever said. Right, so we have that explosion going on in the background. We have someone over here that I can't see falling to his death. Alright, some guy in a turban. Alright, so again, I have no idea who this is, but he was exploded. And yeah, I don't think I can identify anyone else. I mean, apparently we can figure this one out, but I don't know. His markings don't really mean anything to me, so... And he's also not wearing a uniform, which doesn't help. There's really nothing else I can do here, I think. Like, I think I've seen all the corpses. I mean... This takes place before the events from the previous death, so... There should be a rowboat somewhere in the darkness, but I guess we can't see it because of the explosion. Alright, let's just leave. Alright. Alright, let's have a look at the passenger. Let's see, the passenger manifest. Alright, so... Because we got a lot of people from a lot of places. And, well, I don't know where anyone is from, specifically. I mean, I could maybe guess Russian if I hear it. And there is also a Austrian guy in here, so that I can tell. I don't think my knowledge of Scottish is quite enough to pick it out reliably, depending on the talents of the voice actor, and I'm pretty sure I can't tell the difference between American and English at this time period, because this is still the 1700s, so I don't think American English has diverged that much from regular English just yet. Irish, the same difference. I mean, if they're really going into Gaelic and all that, that's maybe, or whatever base the thing is. Chinese, I can probably guess Chinese. But, right. Do we have enough clues to solve anything then? Probably not yet. That doesn't matter because something has opened up. We can now go below deck. And oh boy, some carnage took place here. Now we've got a couple of doors that can't open yet. For some reason or another, but most of the guns look like they're secured. Except for some of them over here. And we have another death. Ouch. Alright, so here we have this guy that we don't know who it is. He was being crushed by a loose cannon. And on the other side we have this guy trying to help him. And we do know who that is. We're standing in front of him in the picture, so we may be able to identify him from that. This guy is not from the same guy. And there's a headless guy on the floor here with a fancy hat. And apparently a cannonball has ripped through here, leaving that guy on the floor, which we can't identify because time is up. On the gun deck. Now, we can guess that this is the third mate, Martin Parrott, which would probably make this the third mate's assistant. So he was crushed by cannon. Yep. Yeah, you say that. Well. I'll take the thing's advice. Alright, so we also have this guy over here. But we can't. Which body is next? Is there someone else? Oh, it's over there. Oh, it was the decapitated guy. And go, my pretty. Fly. Oh, I can just step over. Good. Right, so the cannon went off and struck this person in the head. That's pretty much what we surmised. The cannonball flew into the cabin behind it, but we can't tell that for certain. And mostly because the beast was manipulating the cannon while it is being lit. Here we have Tattoo Guy again. And we have some familiar faces. the last of the conspirators to take down the captain. There's also still the guy being crushed underneath. Although I can't seem to get a focus on him now. Maybe not from this side. Alright, let's just let that go then. Alright, come on. Right, so 2 people died. This guy, we don't know who he is, but he was decapitated by... oh, maybe not decapitated then. Exploded? Shot by a cannon that we don't know. I mean, it should just also have an option unknowingly, but we don't know. So we'll just put in unknown. And it's indeed the guy underneath here. That's the next one to be discovered. Which probably is still what we think he is. Alright, let's just follow the wisp. Cool sword. Alright, so this guy. We have no idea who he is yet. We have this guy, which is the top hat guy, which would explain why he's getting blasted, because he's trapped. And then there's this guy. We don't know what his fate is, but I'm gonna guess that he was probably dragged out through the porthole. I'm not seeing anyone else other than over here. Which is again the usual conspirators, who are part of the crew responsible for dealing with the cannon. Well, we don't know who he is, but he was crushed by the beast. Also, he was, what was he? Probably eaten? Well, strangled, suicide. What would be the best thing to say? I'm gonna say probably drowned by the beast. Right, and I think that's pretty much all the fate we can discover over here, so let's move on to the next section. Alright, so I never got to replace the cannon over here. Let's have a look inside. Alright, so we can tell this is the not the crew, the ship. Let's see, we are on the gun deck. And we're standing in the bosun mate, mate's room. But unfortunately, that'll have to do for this episode. Thank you all for watching. See you all next time.